I was learning how to code and at the same time learning how to trade forex. It was it was the dumbest thing I ever tried in my whole life. I have to confess, because it's turned out so bad for me. I end up losing money in the forex market, and I end up in tutorial hell while learning how to code. So I'm here now to tell you guys how I was able to break free and how I was able to scale through this whole thing, the decisions I took in order for me to actually scale through in learning how to code, despite me trying to jump out the whole thing from the very beginning. So welcome back. Back in 2022, I was learning how to trade forex. Now, this is what happened. Let me just start from the very beginning. When I was learning how to code, I've finished my HTML, I've finished CSS, I've finished Bootstrap, I have finished Tailwind CSS. Now, I was in JavaScript. One day, I was in my office. A friend of mine came by. He came to say hello to me. He visited me. He walked straight to my desk. He looked at my laptop. He looked at it. He saw I was coding. He said, "Omasi, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm coding." He said, "Are you coding?" I said, "Yes." Then he came to me. He actually came to tell me if I have a friend who can teach him how to trade forex. Of course, I have a friend, a very good friend of mine. He's into forex trading and he's good at it. So I was suggesting that my friend that came to visit me to go and meet my other friend who trade forex. Then he asked me, if I am suggesting someone to him, why haven't I learned how to trade forex myself? I told him that I'm into programming and I don't want to combine two things at the same time. I want to focus on this first. Let me get this thing right. Then after getting this one, then I can move to something. He said, why? Why can't I just, try to kind of like do the things together? Why not if I trade, if I learn how to code, if I code during my hours in the office, then if I go home, then I use that period at home to learn how to trade forex. No, he tried convincing me of the whole thing. Now, he gave me a simple analogy that, how about if I was in university? And in university, when you're in university, you are being taught so many courses, like 10, 5, 7 courses at the same time. And you expect to pass all these courses, or else you have carryover in school. Then if I am in university, won't I work so hard for me to actually pass these courses? I looked at what he was saying, and there was sense in it. I said, okay, fine. Let me just do what he said, That's another bad thing, listening to some people, some people give you ideas. Sometimes it might turn out well, sometimes it might turn out bad, but that idea, it was a bad one in this case, I must say. Now, I listened to what he said though. So what I was doing is, during the day in the office, when I'm free, I will learn how to code. Then at night, if I go home, I'll go to YouTube, learn how to trade forex. Then my friend that is into forex trading, I do go to his place. I will have like 1 or 2 sessions with him on forex trading. Then if I come, I will learn how to trade forex myself. I was doing this thing for months. I will say I did this like for 6 months. Now, so what happened? During the day, when I'm in my office, I'm watching videos upon videos on YouTube, on JavaScript. Videos on videos, I'll be doing project, code along and everything. Then when I go home, I'm watching videos on YouTube, on forex trading. Then I was using dummy trading account for me to trade. But it got to a point in forex trading, I said, okay, looks like I've actually mastered this thing. Let me try to deposit money and see if I can trade and make money too, while learning how to code, since my coding right now is not bringing any income right now. So let me look for a way to actually make money from the first market. I deposited money first time. I deposited $100. Within 2 days, I blew the money. The money gone. Okay. After like a month again, deposited another one again. I blew the money. I chilled first. I know I've lost $100. I have to calm down. Like, I chilled first. I said, okay. Then during the day at work, when I want to do something, like after all those videos upon video that I've actually watched, I said, okay, let me try to do a simple project on JavaScript. I couldn't do anything. It was so bad that I was asking myself at some point, does that mean that all this thing I'm doing all this time is not actually entering into my head, or what? Or maybe I don't understand everything. I changed tutor. I changed the tutor on YouTube. I have to move to programming with Mosh. I watched programming with Mosh with a certain period. Still, I was not able to do anything. I moved to John Smiga on YouTube again. I watched the JavaScript project. I did some of his projects. Still, upon all the code along, I was able to not to do anything. You know, one fateful evening, I sat down. I was asking myself, wait, look at all these months that have passed. Does that mean that I'm actually joking? Does that mean that I'm actually what? Wasting all this time, achieving nothing at all? Forex, I'm not good at it. Coding, programming, I was not good at it. So what's up? What's happening? You know, it got so bad that I was depressed. So I have to what? Keep the Forex one side. I have to keep what? Coding one side. I have to take 1 week off. No Forex, no coding. So in between that week of trying to or just basically trying to kind of like get things right, ask myself this question: what am I doing wrong? What is happening? What's happening? You know, that was when I discovered that I'm actually trying to serve two masters at the same time, learning Forex, learning coding. I was not paying much attention to Forex. I was not paying much attention to what? To coding. That was when I said, okay, fine. This is what I will do. One, I have to give up one for another one. Then I ask myself this: which one do I want so bad? Do I want to learn how to code first before learning how to trade Forex? Or do I want to learn Forex first before learning how to what? Do coding? I said, well, this Forex which I actually got myself into was not intentional. It was by a friend who suggested it. I said, okay, let me just drop Forex and go to one which I passionately wanted to do right from the onset, which is coding. Then, after that 1 week, I went back to what? Coding. That was when, after going back to coding, and that was when I used Brad Traversy JavaScript course. I watched that course from A to Z. That was after finishing that course. That was when I built my first ever project, which is a census converter. That was when I built my first JavaScript project. The day I built that project, I was in my office building that project. The minute I finished it and I test run it, was working perfectly fine. I have to jump up. People in the office are looking at me. What's happening? Did I win a lottery or anything? I said no. That's something I've been doing for months. It was today that it finally stick. That was when I actually knew that you can't serve two masters at the same time. Of course, that's a popular word out there. But when you're trying to learn something and you want that thing so bad, when you're trying to do this and that at the same time, trust me, you will not give it much attention. I have to focus on coding for a very period of long time until I feel like, okay, I feel confident enough that, okay, I can do this, even without me doing more like a big or huge project, but at least I can do something that I will be proud of. For real. Then it took me a while before I had to go back to what? Trading Forex. Then I took my time now, looked at the Forex market. I asked myself, what have I been doing wrong? Is it the emotions? Is it the psychology or whatever that I'm not doing right? Then I looked at it before I was able to what? To see. I was able to scale through. Then I have to deposit money again now. I deposited money later. Then I don't lose that money again. Though I lost, but not that much. But I was better than before trying to learn coding the day, then Forex at night. It got to a point where midnight, by 2-3 a.m. the midnight, I'm up learning how to trade Forex. But still, nothing will still stick. During the day, the same thing. My work was being affected. I was having lapses at work. I'll be trying to cope up work with learning how to code, the same thing, but nothing was sticking. That was when I actually knew that if you want to, whatever you're trying to do in life, whatever you're trying to learn, when it comes to learning something that has to do with a technical stuff, maybe a technical skill, whatever you're trying to learn, please and please learn one before the other. I know someone, in fact, a guy who was learning how to code. He was learning JavaScript at the same time learning how to code with Python. He was learning JavaScript and Python at the same time. I asked him, how are you doing this? He said, well, that he wants to learn the whole thing so fast that he will be able to look for a job online. I said, okay, how are you coping? JavaScript, Python, the same time. And the thing is, he has no foundation in each of these languages at all. Like the first time he's starting all these languages. It's not someone that maybe you maybe have foundation on it, like after like some years you left and you came back, or maybe you had experience on it before. This is your very first time. You are learning two of them at the same time. How are you coping? Now, this is his schedule. Like during the day, JavaScript. At night, Python. When I saw him, I met him. I asked him, that was how he told me. That was what he said. The day, JavaScript. At night, Python. At a point, after like 2 months, I called him, bro, what's up? How are you coping? He said, man, brother, according to him, let me just say it in his word. Brother, it's not easy. He said, do you know that I end up leaving JavaScript and I end up with Python? I said, why? He said, he got to a point that he realized that he's in tutorial help because he was not able to do anything for himself. He was just watching videos upon videos, but end up doing nothing. So now he left JavaScript. Now he's now in Python. So he focused all his energy in Python, and he's doing well now. You see, trying to learn two different technologies the same time, and which you know that is difficult, coming from a foundation that you have no programming knowledge at all, which is very, very bad. Just like me when I was doing this thing. So if you're somebody out there who is just starting out, the only advice I would just give you is when you're starting out, please don't try to jump out. Don't try to see you want to kill two birds with one stone. It's not possible. You know, I went to a seminar, a tech summit. I met young developers there, young people like me who just got into tech. Some were saying I'm a front end, I'm a full stack developer. I'm a full stack developer. How long have you been full stack? Some said 3 months. How were you able to be a full stack developer in 3 months? They said, well, what I just do is during the day I will do front end, at night I will do back end just to try to meet up. I will be like, how are you coping? How are you guys doing this thing? Isn't that you guys will just end up watching people's video and you end up calling yourself a full stack developer when you have naturally solved a tangible problem out there? You know, coming from a background, like coming from someone that I have passed through so many hurdles, I've passed through so many challenges, you know. When I saw this thing, sometimes it sounds funny to me. Why are people doing this? Coming from the fact that I've actually had similar experiences, you know, trying to kill two birds at the same time. Like I said, learning Forex, learning JavaScript at the same time. So it wasn't, the whole thing does not connect until I actually figured out that I can't do this. I can't do two things at the same time. I have to focus and know what I'm doing at the same time. So if you're out there, someone who just starting out, maybe you're actually in this mess. In fact, it's a mess. Let me use that word, it's a mess. You're in this mess. Please try to go back to the drawing board. Know what is wrong. It's either you're leaving one for another one. Because if you're not leaving one for another one, the two will suffer. One, you have to forfeit one. Then when you're done with one, they can come back to the other one. Because if you want to do the two together, trust me, is no way. Of course, it's good to multitask. It's good to multitask. But when it comes to something that has to do with IQ, something has to do with psychology, something has to do with your technical skills, you have to think twice before you do it. All right? So that's just the only thing I have to tell you guys today. So if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, so that it will push out to people who are looking for content like this. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace and stay blessed. Bye.